All right, so welcome back. Today we're going to look at a couple of examples from the substitution level 3 section. So just like any time you're doing substitution, you always want to look for, do you have an equation in the form y equals a bunch of stuff or x equals a bunch of stuff? Is one of your variables already by themselves? Because this will allow us to substitute a piece into the second or the other equation in our system, and then get one of our variables by themselves. So let's look at a couple examples. So this first one, the first thing your eyes should kind of see is that you have x equals 10y minus 4. So this means anywhere you see an x, you can replace it with 10y minus 4. So in this second equation, anywhere I see an x, I can replace it with that nickname or that 10y minus 4. So if I rewrite this bottom equation, I'm going to have 2, but instead of writing that x, I'm going to replace it with this 10y minus 4. Oops. And then I'll copy the rest of the equation just like it was. So plus 3y equals negative 31. So now we got to do a little bit of cleaning up and solving to get y by itself. So in these problems, you're going to see you're going to have a number outside parentheses with more than one thing in it. So we're going to have to distribute. So in all these problems in level 3 today, you should be distributing usually for the first step when you get these substituted into each other. But this would be 2 times 10y is 20y. 2 times minus 4 would be minus 8. Don't forget to just bring down this plus 3y. So that would be our first step. Since we have y's on the same side of the equal sign, we can combine those. Pay attention to their signs, but this would be positive 20y plus 3y. So all together we have 23y minus 8. So to solve this, then we could add the 8 over, because you want to do the opposite. So we would have 23y equals negative 31 plus 8. If you plug that in or work it out, that'll be negative 23. So then remember, the opposite of multiplication is division. So sorry, it's getting a little bit out of space, but that would be negative 1. So to get our x, we're going to plug it back in to that original isolated equation. So x would equal 10y, but instead of the y, we're going to plug in the negative 1, since we know what the y is now, minus 4. So if you put this in your calculator, 10 times negative 1 minus 4, you should get that x is negative 14. So just like in all the other sections, your x goes first, so negative 14. Your y goes second, so negative 1. Let's look at another one. So similar idea. The first thing you want to look for is which equation, or do you have an equation that's x equals or y equals? Well, in this one we do. So I can substitute negative 2x minus 5 anywhere I see a y in the other equation. So I can replace that y up there. So we're going to rewrite that top equation, but we're going to substitute that in for our y. So we're going to have 5x minus 9. But instead of putting that y, we're going to replace it with that negative 2x minus 5. And then just copy the rest of the equation from the top, so it would be equal to negative 24. So similar to when we were solving or cleaning this up in the first example, we're going to have to distribute, but be really careful. See how this is a minus 9 in front? Like that minus sign, pay close attention. That means when you distribute, you really want to distribute a negative 9. So we would have 5x, that just comes down. But remember, you're really doing negative 9. So negative 9 times negative 2x. Well, negative times a negative would be positive, so that's going to be a plus 18x, 9 times 2, or negative 9 times negative 2 is 18x. And then just be careful, remember this is negative 9 times negative 5, because that's a minus 5. You almost want to treat them like two negatives. So negative 9 times negative 5, if you plug that in, that's positive 45. So that's going to be a plus. So since these x's are on the same side, we can add them together. So that would be 23x plus 45 equals negative 24. Minus the 45, we would have 23x equals, if you put that in a calculator, work that out, that'd be negative 69. And then our last step, we just need to divide. So if you put in negative 69 divided by 23, that would be negative 3. So sorry, let me zoom out so we can see. So then to get our y, sorry, it's a little bit all over the place. We're going to plug it in here, and I'm going to erase this from the previous question. So if you plug this into the second equation, you would have y equals negative 2, but instead of the x, we're going to plug in negative 3. Let me try and see if I can write a little bit smaller. So sorry, it would be y equals negative 2, and we got negative 3. So if you plug this in, that would be negative 2 times negative 3 minus 5. If you work that out, you should get 1. So in our answer, we would put negative 3 in our first box. That was our x. Our 1 in the second box. That was our y. So let me know if you have questions today. But your goal for the end of today, which is October 22nd, Thursday, is to be finished with the 3 ed puzzle videos, including this one, and levels 1, level 2, and level 3 in Delta Math.